Yeah, kind of?
Yes. Yeah.
Usually I have a hard time getting people to hear what I'm saying, but I'm Corey Paz. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce the guest of honor today, Coach Mora. Before that, I'm going to tell a couple quick stories. I promise you, very, very quick. So for those of you that don't remember me, which probably most of you in the room, I was a played quarterback here for 4 years. Started about almost 18 games out here on this field. A season ticket holder inside the stadium since I was done playing at UCLA. And I've been a suite holder for 5 years, going on my 6th year now. So I know that we're all here to hear Coach Mora, but also, see the beautiful renovations at the Rose Bowl and see if premium seating might be right for you in the future. So I can promise you, if you do become a premium seat holder, I'm in suite E20, and my suite is always the most fun on the whole level. I can honestly tell you I haven't got a chance to spend a lot of time with Coach Mora, but I've been watching him from afar, and I'm certainly not in that top level of ownership, but I feel a very close connection to the program for obvious reasons. I feel like ever since 1998, UCLA, for better or worse, has been a little bit on a going up, trying to get back to that pinnacle that we were in 1998. And certainly with Coach Mora coming here after a number of places that he's been, we're so happy to have him here, and he's found a great home. And I think that, no disrespect to the previous coaches that we've had since I got here, and since Coach Toledo, but if you haven't been able to tell, which I'm sure most of you have, the level of connection that he has with our players hasn't been seen since Coach Donahue, in my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of you agree. And so being able to be associated with the program like I am, and being able to watch that from afar makes myself and the rest of the football players and the rest of the alumni, like a lot of you, very proud to be a Bruin. So, Coach Mora, thank you for doing what you're doing so far. Keep up the great work, and here you go.
Introduction, and I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. This is a truly special place, and I can't think of any better place to spend an evening or a day, an afternoon, than the Rose Bowl. And if you look out on this field, you just got to soak it up. I've played or coached in almost every stadium in America, certainly all the NFL stadiums, and there's no place that is even close to this environment. And it's the fans certainly that make it so, but it's also just the wonderment of what is the Rose Bowl. And with the new renovations, it's truly going to be a marvelous place to watch games. And for those of you that maybe haven't yet pulled the trigger and jumped on board, you need to get on board, okay? Because it's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a season to remember. And it's going to go on more than just season. I think that we're building something very special here. We came here 2 years ago with a vision in mind of what we wanted to become as an organization, what we want our culture to be, our legacy to be, what we wanted to represent when we walked onto that field. And it was something that we wanted all of our fans to be proud of. And I think that we're moving very quickly in that direction. We're not where we want to be yet. Where we want to be is national champions, and we want to be national champions. I don't want to get too far out there. There's a lot of things you got to do first, okay? A lot of things. But that's the vision. For us, it's about the daily grind, though, and that's what I'm so proud of this football team is. We have this saying, "Don't listen to the noise," and there's a lot of noise out there right now about UCLA football, and that's good. That's good. That means we're doing things the right way. That means people are starting to recognize that maybe we are doing things correctly, and we are moving in the right direction. But for us as a football team, the most important thing is that we concentrate on the daily grind, the process, the minute to minute, second to second, day to day, just trying to get better. And I'm really proud of our football team because they've been able to do that. as we entered this past spring, I was interested to see how they would transition into this next phase of our development. You know, because there's been a lot of people telling them that, hey, you guys are going to be in the national championship picture. And then, you know, I wanted to see how they reacted. And they reacted just how I hoped they would, which is they ignored it, and they went right to work, and we had a great spring. And I expect the same thing to happen when we go out to San Bernardino on August 3rd, and I just grind them into the dirt. I think what we have tonight is a short video to show you, and then I am going to stand here as long as you need me to and answer your questions, rather than stand up here and talk about things you don't want to hear about. I'm going to let you ask me questions, and we'll get right to the point of the matter. So how's that sound, okay? Yeah. Oh, wait, okay, I know this is not, these do not belong to a man. Because if you're walking around with these in your pocket, okay. No, okay, it's somebody who drives a Honda. Is it you? No. Okay, drives a Honda, likes to drink beer, has a hex wrench because I don't know what they're breaking into. Screwdriver. Phillips had screwdriver. One of those little ninja thrower deals. Who's this? It's coming. It is a guy. I love it. Oh, we're working on? Okay. We're working on the video. It's not ready yet. So let's do this then. Let's take some questions. Okay, right here, we're going to do this though. Right here, front right.
When are you going to start promoting Brett Hundley for the Heisman Trophy by putting up billboards here in the West and across the country?
That's a great point, and you know, I think there's a lot of great ways you can promote somebody for the Heisman Trophy. I think the greatest way that you can promote someone for the Heisman Trophy is to have a player go out and play great and win games. People out there are very aware of who Brett Hundley is and his potential. You know, we're going to be on a national stage early in the season, going to Virginia and then coming home here and playing Memphis, and then certainly going to Texas. And if Brett can go out and perform well and his team can win, then he's going to be right in the forefront. Kirk Herbstreit from ESPN came out the other day and is doing a real nice feature on Brett, and our marketing department's doing what they have to do, but really it's up to our football team and Brett to make him a Heisman Trophy winner, not just candidate, winner.
Yeah.
Coach, from what you envisioned prior to coming to UCLA that you wanted the program to be and where it is now, do you feel that you're farther ahead from where you envisioned this point in, or not as quite as advanced as you?
I don't think that I ever want to feel like we're further ahead than we are. I always want to feel like we're chasing in a desperation mode to try to be great. And I think the day that I start saying, yeah, you know what, I think where we need to be a little bit ahead of schedule, I think that's the day that the decline starts. So that's just not my nature. I'm never satisfied. I like the direction we're heading, okay? We can see the goal. We're well aware of it, but, you know, we're going to, just like I said earlier, every single day is going to be a stinking grind, and that's our attitude, and I think that's going to help us. Hi.
My
That's
little
pretty.
nephews.
I shout, it's pretty.
I have to share that last time I was here speaking with you was in the locker room and you called me. This was during the Lady Bruins football.
Okay.
And you complimented me on my blue hair at the time. My nephews have grown up around the football program. They're 6 and 8. They love coming out to practices, coming to games. And I had a question about the new football facility. Will there still be an area for us to hang out during public practices?
That's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that. We're still in the design phase, although it's pretty far along. It's really important to us and to me personally that the people that love to watch us practice have that opportunity. And so I'm sure we'll try to make something work. You know, we are limited by space there, and one of the things that we have to do is maximize the area that we do have to construct this new football facility, which in my opinion is kind of the last step for us on campus in terms of, you know, being a big-time football program. You know, in the spring when we had to close the practice, we just had a lot 8 party. So maybe we'll just like put some, I'll tell Josh, Josh Rebholz is JREBHOLZ.UCLA.athletics.edu. Just send him any suggestions you have about things like that, and we'll try to get that done. Sure, okay, hey, let's watch the video. I don't even know what it is, but it should be good.
17-letter email.
Right.
JR. Yeah, help
administrators, it's a fan base, all pursuing the highest reward in college football, and that's a national championship. It's important that the nation see that UCLA is determined to be a national player every year. For us to take the next step as a program, what I think we need to do is put one of the most remarkable football-only facilities on this beautiful campus in this place. We want to provide an environment for our student athletes that gives them the resources they need to get bigger, faster, stronger, that puts us on par with our competitors. We have to be able to show prospective student athletes and their families that we're making a commitment to their kids, that we're going to provide them an environment where they can excel as students and as athletes. And this new facility, to me, is a great statement that, hey, UCLA is here to stay, and we're here to play, and we're here to win. I think that any facility we build needs to capture the essence of UCLA, its traditions. I think it needs to be open and bright, cutting edge, that clean line. It has to wow you. It has to thrill you. It has to pull you in. It has to be a place where people want to gather and spend time. It needs to indicate excellence, because that's what we demand of our players. That's what we demand of ourselves. We need to provide a weight for them in state-of-the-art rehab facilities with the best equipment and the best space that they can find anywhere in the country. We need to have a locker room that promotes a team environment, players' lounge, where they can congregate and be around each other, away from the football field, away from the meeting room, and get to know each other as young men and help each other grow and bond. State-of-the-art meeting rooms. We're providing technology that is on par with everybody else in the country. An area that showcases our facility to recruits and to our boosters and donors, a place where they can come and be comfortable and watch practice and engage with our student athletes, engage with our staff, feel that they're part of the program. We're ready, man. We're ready. We're ready. I believe that this facility is the last piece of the puzzle for UCLA to become a national champion and remain a player in the national championship picture year after year after year. I think it's an indicator to prospective student athletes and to student athletes on this campus, to coaches that may come and coach in this program, that we are committed to being the best on a daily basis in everything that we do. This is probably the last football facility we're ever going to build on this campus. So let's make it the best that it can be. Let's make it the crown jewel. To have this facility, to become champions, to become a team, become a program that you are proud of on a daily basis, that puts a team on the field that you want to cheer for, that you want to embrace. And in order to build this facility, we need that support. You know what? Sometimes it takes a little blind faith. Jump in, help us out. It's going to be a great ride, and we want you on board for it.
Necessarily to talk about the facility. I think that, I don't remember saying half that stuff. I like hearing it because it sounds good and it's true. When you think about UCLA and you think about our campus and the environment and the surrounding areas and the academics and the professors on our campus and the commitment to excellence and John Wooden, it's all about being great. It's all about being the best that we can be. And that new facility certainly and truly is the final step, in my opinion. You know, you would think, you would hope that you didn't have to have a brand new, bright and shiny facility to draw recruits to your campus, but recruiting has become so incredibly competitive that anything that you do or don't have that you can draw them to or that pushes them away becomes so important, and that facility is one for us. You know, we have everything. Unfortunately, right now, if you ask those that have toured the Pac-12, out of the 12 teams in the Pac-12, our facilities are 12th. You know, and that's just the way it is, and we still found a way to be successful. I think it's a credit to everyone that is involved with UCLA and everything about UCLA, that new facility is gonna do it for us. And really all we need is some renderings. I can show the recruits and say, hey, it's coming. That's what the Huskies did for about 8 years. I was up in Seattle. You go into, it started before Sark, and it was Sark, and you go into their offices for 8 years, and every year they'd have a new rendering of what was coming. And they finally got it done, though. But anyway, why don't we take some more questions? How's that sound? All right.
Some preseason rankings show 5 or 6 Pac-12 teams in the top 25. How do you rate the Pac-12 this year in your competition?
That's a great question. You know, there's so much talk about the SEC and then comparisons between the SEC and the Pac-12. I truly believe that they're both great conferences. I mean, you can't take anything away from the SEC because of the success that they've had on a national level. You'd be foolish to not recognize them as the premier conference in college football. But I believe that the Pac-12 is on par. And I think that when you go 1 to 12, that this is the most competitive conference in the country, in my opinion. And I really don't know that it's close.
Coach Mora, thank you very much for being here. I'm a Bruin, love being here at the Rose Bowl. I'm sure all of us here love it too. But I want to have a great competitive atmosphere. I feel like a lot of home games were not as supportive. Some defensive stands, third down, people don't stand up. Is there anything that you can do, that the AD, marketing can do, to support the rest of us Bruins that really are passionate about being strong as a national continues on standing up on third down, supporting our team? Help us, help you. What can we do?
Well, we've hired a marketing firm that's going to do some things, but this is what I would like, okay? I want that place out there to be the most intimidating place that our opponents ever go into, okay? I want them to walk out onto that field and feel like there's no air for them to breathe. I want them to feel like they're suffocating. I want them to feel like the only place that they're safe is back on the buses heading back to LAX. Class and sportsmanship, okay? And I mean that because this is college sports. These are college athletes, they're student athletes, they're not professionals. But from the moment that their little faces pop out of that little tunnel right down there, they should understand that they're in a hostile environment. It's our job between the lines to make sure that it's a violent, nasty, vicious, okay, painful existence for them. But when they get to the sidelines, they should feel the same thing from our fans. And when it's third down and we're on defense, the whole stadium should be up. The whole stadium should be up making noise. And I sometimes hear that people, you know, they don't sit down on third down. You know, if you come to a football game, your butt shouldn't be in the seat on third down. It just shouldn't be. And you should watch that. I don't know what you can do. I don't drink more. I don't know. Good question over there.
I was at the Stanford game on the road last year. I'm a Bruin, just graduated a year ago. My question is, how do you plan on getting the boys pumped up on the road to win some more of these road games?
Yeah, you know, we've had limited success on the road. We lost to Stanford and Oregon last year back to back, and that was really tough. And I think that's just the next step in our development is being able to perform in a stressful environment on a consistent basis. We're able to do it in chunks, but we haven't been able to find a consistency. And I think that what you'll see out of our team is that we've learned from those experiences. We've matured, we understand our schemes better, we understand how to react in extreme environments better, and we'll perform with more consistency in those environments. I think that one of the things that has really helped us is last year when we went down and trained with the Navy SEALs, which was an amazing experience, which I really can't get into here because we don't have time, but it was an experience that we continue to draw on, because what we tried to do is create an environment where and it was really easy to do, get them off track, get them sidetracked, create some adversity and force them to find their way back quickly. I felt like our first year here, one of our problems is when we got sideways in a game, we couldn't get back on track. I thought we got better at it last year, but I don't think we're near where we need to be, so we just continue to emphasize those principles that we learned when we trained with the SEALs, and I think it's really helping us.
Are you going to do it again?
Train with the SEALs, are we going to do it again? Yes, but not this year. That's something that you can't do every year. You know, what we'll probably do is make sure that every class that comes through gets a chance to do it. But it loses its impact if you do it every year. People keep asking me, what are you going to do this year? The first year was we went to San Bernardino, we shocked the heck out of them. It was 106, it was crazy. And then last year, they thought they were going to San Bernardino, but the bus went south instead of east. It was the greatest surprise ever. They thought they were pulling up to San Bernardino, and they stopped in front of the Naval Special Warfare. And all these little SEALs jumped on and started screaming at them. I mean, it was an unbelievable experience, but so they go, what are you going to do this year? And really, I think that we're at the point in our development as a football team where what we need to do is drive out to San Bernardino, put our bags down, and go on that field and get to work. And that's what we're going to do, just be a great football team.
There were a lot of injuries to the running backs last year. Can you give us an update, kind of what you're seeing amongst the running back core and going into fall camp?
Sure. Well, first of all, Kennedy Polamalu, who's come in as our running back coach, has just done a tremendous job for us. He was from that other team over there. His wife's a Bruin, okay? His wife's a Bruin now. He's a Bruin too. He's 100% UCLA. I had someone ask me the other day, are you sure that he's not a spy? No, he's not a spy, okay, he's a Bruin. He's done an amazing job. His impact was felt immediately. He actually joined us for the bowl preparation, and was with us at the Sun Bowl, and you could just tell the minute that he walked on the field that he had great command of his position, that his players had tremendous respect for him, and that he was an expert in his field, and he was dedicated to being great. And we've got a good group of backs. Jordan James will be healthy again. You know, he started out so strong last year, and then he sprained his ankle. It was really hard for him to get back on track, and I think we missed him at times. Paul Perkins is going to be better this year than he was last year. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's more physical. You know, I'm a big fan of Stephen Manfro. I think that he's very underrated. I just love what he brings to our team. He's tough, he's gritty, he's tenacious. And then we've got a young man named Nate Starks coming in this recruiting class from Cherry Creek High School in Colorado. Is one of the best backs in America last year in high school, so we have big plans for him. And Craig Lee. Yeah, I knew I was forgetting somebody again. Craig Lee. And Craig was probably the most impressive or most surprising eye-opening back of our spring. You know, he came in last year. He was on the scout team most of the year, so he was always running our opponent's plays without much blocking in front of him against our starting defense, and so he didn't really have a chance to do much. And then in spring, when he got a chance to work in our offense with our offensive line, the kid's dynamic. You know, he's very young still. There's still some learning to take place, but when he gets his hands on the ball and he puts his foot in the ground and he goes downhill, he can make some things happen. So I think we've got a really, really solid group of backs.
Hi, Coach. Thank you for being here at UCLA and signing the extension too.
Yeah.
Right. The question I have is, it seems like our quarterback position is locked up in 1 and 2, at least from what I'm seeing, but
Who's two?
I don't know. High school here and there.
Oh, you're hearing that? Okay.
But who's the other parent, would you say, coming into after leaving?
Well, I think that, well, he's going to leave. Not, did you say if he leaves? Yeah, he's leaving. Yeah, he's not coming back again. And it's time, it'll be time for him to leave. I think that Jerry Neuheisel is a really good quarterback. You know, I think he's underrated. He's like his dad. And I mean, who wouldn't want to have a career like his dad had? I mean, he won, you know, he was the MVP of this Rose Bowl game, wasn't he? You know, so Jerry is a really good player, and I'm very comfortable with Jerry. Shante Woolard is a young, talented guy that just hasn't played a lot. He's a 6'4.5", 228, 30-pound kid that can just rifle it and run, and he's smart, but he just doesn't have a lot of game experience. And so hopefully we can find a way to get him some game experience this year. If we can, you know, get into some games where we can get a lead and get him in there, that'll really help his development. And then we've got to commit in next year's recruiting class. I'm not allowed to say names, but he's a pretty good player too. And then we're working on a kid in the 2016 class is pretty good. So we're just trying to keep them going, you know, keep them lined up. Yeah. Show them the renderings. Show them the renderings.
Yeah. Coach, you talked about the adversity that we're here on this side to your right.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, I see that.
You talked about the adversity that the UCLA has on the road, and typically for the past several years, it seems like when we're down, the defense also gives in. And is there somebody on the defensive side that you trust that you can talk to and say, hey, you know, bring the troops together. You're a great motivator, as everybody can see here. But just sometimes you need a player to bring the rest of the group up. You have a person in mind? I know Jack plays both sides of the field, but I don't know.
Miles, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get argumentative, but when we were down 21-3 in Nebraska, I didn't see our defense get in. Our defense played their butts off at Stanford. It certainly wasn't, you know, the defense that lost that game. It's always a team effort, but you know, I think that a guy two guys that come to mind for what you're talking about, that you know, when they say something, like when they bring the team together, like, you know, E.F. Hutton, everybody listens. It's Eric Kendricks. And then someone that we're getting back. Go ahead. For Ola, you know, Ola, I can't even say his name, Odigizua, Ola, 94, he's back this year, and he's got that presence about him, he's got a maturity about him, a toughness about him, and really the way that you gain that ability to talk to your team is you demonstrate every day a certain standard of performance, a work ethic, an attitude, a commitment, and that doesn't just happen overnight, and you have to, every single day you have to continue to earn that respect. But those are the two guys that have at least got it going in that direction. Miles, we don't know yet about Miles as a leader. We know he's a heck of a football player, but I don't know what kind of impact yet he's going to have on his team with his voice. Usually it has to happen with your actions before it happens with your voice, but those are two guys I look to. That can't be it. Okay.
Coach, you played for one of the all-time great college coaches. What are you bringing from that experience in the program that they had up there down here? What can we look for?
Well, that's it. Don James, speaking of Don James, who was the dog father, he passed away last year, and he was my college coach. He was actually someone I knew since birth. And Don James, in my opinion, he was tougher than heck. I mean, he was tough. He was a tough sucker, and he was very disciplined, and he was compassionate, but you were afraid of him, you know? He had an open door policy, and no one ever went through that. And I used to listen, his oldest daughter used to babysit me, and I babysat his younger daughter, and then when I went to play at Washington, I mean, I knew him as well as anybody. I don't know if I talked to him for 4 years, you know, because I revered him so much, and you never want to let him down because you could tell how committed he was to our program and to each player. And so I think if anything that, you know, that we as a staff be trying to bring to this program is just, you know, that toughness, that discipline, that accountability, that integrity, you know, that is displayed on the field and the way that we play, the heart we play with, the never give up style, the toughness, you know, the violence that we like to play with, those types of things. I've used that word a couple times, violence, okay? We want to be, honestly, a violent.
Coach, I just found out you attended Washington. I attended Washington State, and
Oh, that's too bad.
well, yeah, but what I wanted to ask you about was the football operations building that you're planning here. I think it would be really cool if it could be done in such a way that the other athletes, the other sports who've been so successful at UCLA, that would be a magnet to draw on the other sports and recruits for other schools too. Do you see that as being possible? Is that part of the plans?
No. Football pays for every single sport on that campus. Yeah, football pays for everything, so football needs priority. Yeah.
Last question. Hi. What's the best piece of advice, coaching-wise, that you've ever received from your dad?
The best, oh gosh, it's great. My dad is a tremendous influence in my life and on my coaching career. And the question was, what's the best piece of advice? And there really hasn't been one singular piece of advice, but I'll tell you this, is that when I got my first head coaching job, my dad sent me a letter, and it was kind of geared towards the professional level. When I got this job here, he sent me another letter and had 7 points of emphasis for me. And I keep it with me all the time and just reflect on it. And there's a lot of great things on there, but the thing that he's always told me that's always stuck with me is start hard on kids. Start hard, you know, and you can always back up, soften up, take the pedal off, or the foot off the pedal a little bit, but start hard. And if you ask them to do something, demand that they do it. Don't give them a freaking inch. And so that's what I try to do with them. Thank you very much.
We do have something small to get the coach as for him being here tonight. Actually, some cufflinks from some seats at the Rose Bowl.
Can I tell a story about cufflinks? Yeah, this is a great story, so this is awesome. Can I eat these? So this year, I'm not kidding now, this is God's honest truth, okay? We're playing, it's the first home game of the year, and I had cufflinks on, and we're walking through Bruin Walk, and I get into the locker room, and I notice that my cufflink on my right wrist is gone. So somewhere between the street and the locker room, I lost my right cufflink. And what was our last home game? Arizona State. I'm walking down Bruin Walk, and this lady is standing there going, "Coach, coach, coach!" She goes, "I got your cufflink." She had my cufflink. I found that was kind of trashed, so I thank you very much.
Hey guys.